Happy Halloween, everybody! As I promised, today is a special Halloween-themed episode, and I would have dressed up, except that I'm lazy. So instead, pretend I'm wearing this Batgirl costume. What? So cool! So in honor of today, our spookiest of holidays, I thought I would share my top 5 favorite spooky books. A quick disclaimer before we start, I only recently discovered that I actually like scary stories. I grew up my entire life thinking I hated everything to do with horror, so I'm not as blindly read as I would like to be. So for instance, you won't find any Stephen King on this list because I actively avoided him my entire life. And I know, I'm going to read him, I promise. I just haven't yet. That said, let the countdown begin. Number 5 is The Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls by Claire Legrand. This book is creepy as all get out. It's the story of perfectionist Victoria, whose best friend Lawrence goes missing, and she investigates, as one does, and finds she might have met her match in Mrs. Cavendish, who runs the super creepy children's home in town. I wish I had the actual physical book on me to show you because sprinkled throughout on the pages are little cockroaches, which is super creepy and without spoilers, also really relevant. That's all I'm saying. Number 4 is Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake, and I do have this one to show you, which is great because I love the cover. In this young adult horror, Kaz is a ghost hunter who's tracked down said Anna, who has quite the reputation, and killing her is not going to be quite as easy as he expects for a variety of reasons. This is a ghost story and a love story and a super gory story. Seriously, blood everywhere. So if you like your horror violent and gory and tragic, then this is the book for you. Number 3 is Coraline by Neil Gaiman, which is something of a modern classic. I read Coraline in one sitting, not least because it's pretty short, but also because I could not stop reading, although I did have to put the book down a few times because I was so creeped out. I needed a moment to collect myself before I could keep going, which I think is just what happens when you have characters that have buttons for eyes. As you might have guessed, the story is about Coraline, who I just adore to pieces. She finds an alternate world, an alternate version of her reality in her home, where everything is exactly the same and totally different, and better until it's not. You absolutely need to read this book. It's incredible, and once you've read it, you should definitely see the movie too, because it's actually really, really good. Number 2 is The Waking Dark by Robin Wasserman, which I talked about in my titles video. I would argue this is even more of a psychological horror story, though it is very violent. So for instance, in the opening pages, and this is not a spoiler, it's in the summary, we see the killing day, which is when 5 people in the town of Oleander, Kansas, killed a total of 12 in 5 separate incidents, and nobody can figure out why. The story follows the only 5 survivors of that day, and we see as Oleander kind of devolves into madness and violence and horror, really. This is a legitimately terrifying book. Like, I do not recommend you read it at night. It is so scary. But it's also so much more than just blood and murder. It is a breathtakingly beautiful story, and in some ways it's because it's so horrifying. And finally, number 1, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, which is admittedly not a book, so it might be cheating a little bit, but whatever, it's my list. I make the rules. I still remember the first time I read this, sitting in 7th grade English. We were all supposed to read quietly to ourselves, and about a stanza in, I started mouthing it, and I really, really wanted to start whispering because it's just so rhythmic and lyrical, and it's, I think, meant to be read aloud, but it also felt really important to keep the silence intact, to not interrupt what was happening, because you could tell everybody was really into it. So I read quietly, and I remember finishing it. I was one of the first ones done because I was a fast reader, and I was sitting there just wanting to cry because it was so haunting. It was simultaneously the most beautiful and most terrifying thing I'd ever read up to that point. And to this day, it doesn't matter how many times I've read it, and I've read it a decent number of times, let me tell you. I get chills every single time. So this one tops my list, admittedly partially because of nostalgia, because that experience of reading it for the first time stuck with me, but also because the poem stuck with me, even however many years later. I'm old is the point, and I don't know math. And thus concludes my list. I hope you all have a happy Halloween, eat lots of candy, be safe, and I will see you all next week. But before I go, I want to remind you all that our National Novel Writing Clinic starts on Saturday, this Saturday, November 2nd at Drip Coffee Shop in Atlanta. I will put all the information again below. And if you haven't emailed me, don't worry, you can still come. Feel free to drop in, and we'd love to have you. So I look forward to seeing everybody there.